Hey, I'm Tristan.
I'm Andre.
We're Truth.
We're Truth.
Hey yo, I'm Barlee. And you're watching
The Permanent Rain Press.
Cool. Well, you could say our niche is deep, dark, and dangerous music.
Like, some people say it's cinematic or evocative of a mood. Some people say it's like deep. Some people say it's heavy. I mean, depends who you talk to, really. You know? When we play stuff that's like it's a bit darker, especially, or like more stripped back, or whatever it might be, like that's when we have the most fun playing together.
I was born deaf, being too much premature, and it's fucking difficult. It's difficult to hear like different sounds with the hearing aid. And after high school, I decided to snip it because people judge people by the book, you know. And then so I kept going to like underground music shows, and there's a certain sound that I can hear and feel, and only I can do that, you know. It's original.
I find that Dre has like an amazing ear for just hearing something which like I've just probably missed somewhere, and he's just like, this is the part of the tune that we need to like focus on, you know, like it's like pull, and like a lot of like the kind of like the sounds like in the atmosphere of the track. He's like genius at like adding those in a certain place, and it's like, oh, it sounds like 10 times better now.
The way I see this guy, you know, he's a good friend, but I also see him kind of like a mad scientist, you know. So like, you know, I might have some idea or whatever, and you know, as far as the production process goes, you know, have an idea, send him the idea, and he'll just totally twist it up and make it like crazy with his kind of thing on it. And that he's also really good at finishing music, something that I'm not good at. So that really like helps a lot.
Yeah, you know, for quite a while, like Dre was doing a lot of shows around North America, and I had like a couple of months of really no shows in New Zealand. So at that time, I'm like, Dre's on the road, really busy, playing all the tunes, giving all the feedback, and then I'm in the studio like kind of finishing bits off. And then just now, recently, Dre's only had a couple of gigs over a few months, and I've had a bunch of shows in New Zealand and Australia, and I've been able to do the same thing in reverse. But it means we constantly be able to be, you know, in the studio as well as on the road, and testing music out. I personally, like when Dre's on the road and I'm not, I really enjoy the challenge of like trying to like get a new track finished for the next show. Because I mean, I think about maybe it was a year ago, Dre was in Europe and I was in New Zealand. I finished doing the gigs, and every gig he played, there was like a new track that we both started together, and then he'd be like, last night, blah blah blah, track one. Like he'd be like, they were battling each other, our own tunes, you know. But it was quite a good way of doing things. Like,
and the other thing with that is, you know, I can be testing a track on the road, and then you know, report back to Tristan the next day and say, you know, this track sounded really good, but you know, the snare was a little loud, or something was needed fixing. He can quickly make that fix. By the time I land in the next city to play the next show, he's sent a new version of the track and it's ready to test. I can give him feedback, so it's really lucky to actually have each other to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of acts that are separate, people assume that one person is in the studio and they assume one person is on the road and there's no crossover, but we're equally, we equally produce the tunes, we equally DJ, we're kind of equal. Like, you know, the first 7 or 8 years, we lived in the same town, like 5 minutes walk from each other, and made music pretty much every day, just about, together. So there's no role where it's like one person does this, one person does that. It's always been like pretty much from the start to finish.
Oh my God! Today, one of my lady friends, she made a sound that said "We love Barlee," like 10 feet wide. It was the best.
Well, I mean, that's the great thing about playing at a festival like Shambhala, it's such a diverse audience, and you know, although there are a lot of people that are familiar with our music, there are also a lot of new people that have probably never even heard that kind of music before. So that's why we love coming to places like this and playing music to, you know, new people and old fans alike.
I'm on a high playing Beach Coast and Shambhala, and I'm actually a free agent now if anybody wants to have me for a show, you know. How about you, dude? And I'm just gonna keep making mixes and inspiring motherfuckers to get it in.
Next 1 week today. So I think it's the 13th, Saturday. Yeah.
At Red Room.
At Red Rooms, yeah.
And we love playing, like Vancouver's honestly, like for me personally anyway, it's one of my favourite places in the world to play. I love the Red Room. I love Digital Motion events. They do great shows.
Yeah.
The people in Vancouver and BC and Canada in general just always so like receptive and supportive, and we just feel at home every time we play here. You know, people are just like really welcoming, and
people know the music, and I mean,
we're big fans of Vancouver, so it's very exciting for us.